Hi, I'm Jenny Robertson, founder of the On Purpose Woman Global Community and founder and publisher of On Purpose Woman magazine. And I'm here to share the speaker portion of our Connections Over Coffee gathering of the On Purpose Woman Global Community. Natalie Gallagher is talking about ChatGPT and AI. Welcome to your future. Natalie is the founder of Virtually Nat and co-founder of the brand new IOMI Digital. Both companies are full-service digital agencies specializing in web design, search engine optimization, digital marketing, and cutting-edge technology solutions that help companies increase revenue and streamline operations through digital business transformation. She has over 25 years of combined experience in IT, web design, and marketing. She leverages open-source technology such as WordPress to deliver affordable and accessible solutions to her clients. She stays ahead of the curve by keeping abreast of emerging technologies to ensure she offers the most efficient solutions possible to her clients and the wider world. Natalie has been a pioneer in remote work since 2007, well before it became mainstream due to the COVID-19 pandemic. She has honed her online collaboration skills and is adept at working with diverse teams and work styles. She's physically based in Bel Air, Maryland, and serves clients worldwide, offering digital marketing solutions to local, national, and global businesses alike. And you can find out more about Natalie on her website, which is linked to the text of this video. So Natalie, thank you for being here today. You're on.
Thank you, Jenny. So hello, everyone, and thank you for the very warm welcome. So like you have already heard, I'm not a stranger to Jenny. I've been in Jenny's groups for many years, mainly when they were in person in Maryland before COVID. And I've been in her space a couple of times since then on the online Zooms. So thank you for having me, Jenny. I appreciate it. So today we're chatting about something super exciting and, to be honest, a little bit sci-fi. But, you know, isn't it crazy that today's sci-fi may be tomorrow's reality? So let's buckle up because we're about to embark on a super exciting journey. ChatGPT and AI, welcome to your future. So I will be screen sharing a little bit today where I'll be showing you a couple of screens and I'll be doing some demos, but I'm hoping that this talk can be interactive. Feel free to interrupt me with questions if I'm not speaking clearly, or if my accent is a bit confusing, or if I'm using jargon that you don't know the meaning of. I'm happy to be interrupted to take those questions, but there will be also time at the end for Q&A. So if you feel like your question is like a big one, you can feel free to hold that until the end. So at this point, I need to put in a disclaimer, because this field of AI is changing so very fast. I literally log on to my computer every day and I'm bombarded with media about AI and new advances that have happened seemingly overnight. So all this information I'm about to give you is current as at the date of the presentation, the preparation of my talk, which is only a couple of days ago. But that can and will change at any minute. And also, I don't know everything there is to know about this field. It is massive. So saying that, putting my disclaimer out there, I'm happy to tell you everything I do know. So this is a wild, wild west, folks. It really is the wild, wild west. So hang on to your horses and clutch your pearls. So I'd like to ask you all a question, and feel free to put it in the chat, and I will try to watch the chat and talk at the same time, which is tough to do. But my question to you all is, what was the first feeling that you have had, or you have now, or have had about the thought of AI and ChatGPT becoming so prevalent around us? I really would like to know what that first feeling is for my own research. So feel free to drop that in the chat. All right, so we're seeing curiosity come up. We're seeing creepy come up. Anything else? It's going to change us for the worse. Okay, good. I mean, not good for the worse, but good feedback. Openness is something new, intrigued. All right, good. Most people that I speak to outside of the marketing and tech worlds, their first feeling is a lot of fear. And I think it's very natural. It's a very natural reaction to change. It's also very natural considering we've had years of movies about how robots are going to take over our world and just create havoc. Now, I'm not here to tell you that that's not going to happen because I can't predict the future. I'm not psychic that way. However, I do think it's important to keep in mind that any fears that we have are being seen. We're seeing it through the lens of years and years of media. So that's the first thing to keep in mind. I'm not saying that your fears are not valid, because they very much are valid, but understand that it is a lens that we have been exposed to for many, many years. All right, those who are open to it and excited, that's good too. And I'm going to show you the flip side, is that there are people who are scared of it and are fearful. They are right as well. And so the people who are hyper excited, they need to take a cue from those other people's books, and we need to find a balance is what I'm saying. We need to have an open mind, and we need to find a balance. So first, let's talk about AI, because AI came first. So what is AI? It stands for artificial intelligence. I think maybe we all know that, but maybe some don't. So I just wanted to be real clear. It means artificial intelligence. And at its core, it's the concept of machines and computers learning to mimic human intelligence. So somebody on Facebook said loss of jobs. Yep. Also good one. And I'll come back to that. I have a whole section on some of the concerns. We're going to come back to that. We're first going to talk about what it is and how to get on it, and then we'll talk about the concerns. It is going to change the job world, no doubt. The key is, are we going to be part of that change, or are we going to fight it? Are we going to find ways to harness it? Anyway, I'll come back to that little piece. And Ginny, I may need time reminders. So yeah. Okay, so AI is the concept of machines and computers learning to mimic human intelligence. They can learn, reason, problem solve, perceive, and even do some creative stuff. I don't know who here knows, but in 2011, the IBM's computer called Watson beat humans at Jeopardy. That was an example of AI. Another famous one is Google's AlphaGo bested the world champion in Go in 2016. That was another famous instance, real life, not movies, but real life of bots, besting humans. So let's talk about a big company in the space of AI called OpenAI. I'm not sure who here has heard about them. It is a company that was formed in 2015, so 8 years ago. One of the interesting things about ChatGPT is it's hit the media within the last 6 months or so, and it's been massive. It's exploded, but this is not a new field. AI is not new. It's been going since, I don't know, I didn't even get back to when it first, because I went and researched like when it first started, but it's been going for a long time. And OpenAI as a company was founded 8 years ago. It is not a new thing. But what is new is OpenAI released, there you go, Laurie said she took a course on AI in 1987. It's not new, but it's been continually developing. And one of the biggest changes that's happened in the last 6 months, and why everyone is talking about, well, not everyone, but a lot of people are talking about it now, is because this company AI released a version of the software to the public. It opened up access to the public. And that is at the basis of what's causing all of this, this interest in ChatGPT. So 8 years ago, OpenAI formed, and its mission was and is very noble. And I feel it's important to bring this out. Their mission is to ensure that AI benefits all of humanity. So Lisa's is, I wonder if they were going to charge for access. Lisa, we're going to talk about that. So I created some bullet points based on the mission statement from OpenAI. They want to build AI that is safe and helpful to everyone in the world. They want to make sure that it is safe now, but also going into the future. They want to share things that they learn, and they want to help to create the world a better place, even before AI is fully ready. And that point is key, and that will become clear later on. They want to work with others to solve big problems that are related to AI, because there are a lot of problems related to it. And they are promising to use their control over AI to help everyone and prevent it, and this is really important, prevent it from being used in ways that could hurt people or give too much power to only a few. So they have a very noble mission. That mission is what drove them to release ChatGPT to the public. So ChatGPT, let's talk about that. ChatGPT is a software and program and service that was created specifically by OpenAI. And it's a software that truly speaks human language. It's pretty, Jenny mentioned creepy. I don't know if she said creepy because she's seen it in action, but it can kind of feel that way a little bit. So ChatGPT has been in development for many years. It was released in November 2022. And within 5 days, so not even a full week, they had 1 million users. So I'm going to share a graph now. Hopefully I can share my screen. Jenny, let's see if that's going to work. Can you all see my screen? Thumbs up? Yeah, okay. So this is a little graph of OpenAI and their release of ChatGPT. OpenAI in 2015, testing ChatGPT. It was released in November 2022. 1 million users in 5 days. In 2 months, we had 100 million users. That is phenomenal growth. My next slide is going to show you some other popular services and software and how long they took to reach 1 million users. Netflix took 3.5 years. Kickstarter took 2.5 years. Airbnb, 2.5 years. Twitter, 2 years, 13 months. Facebook took 10 months. So you can see the growth of ChatGPT has been absolutely phenomenal. And that is reflected in our media. So I need to go back to my presentation now. I mean, my notes, so I don't forget. So simply put, what ChatGPT is, it's a smart language model. Basically, it is a chatbot. And GPT stands for Generative Pre-trained Transformer, which is techie jargon. And it means that AI has read a ton of stuff, and it's stored all of that information, and it can generate human-like text responses in a conversational tone in response to questions. So it uses machine learning to produce human-like text and can have human-like conversations. One huge limitation of ChatGPT in its current format is it was trained on 2021 data, which means that any responses you get are from 2021 and before. There's nothing current. However, you can use current news and current information informing the prompts that get put into ChatGPT. So ChatGPT can be used for many different things. It can write stories, poems, narrations, blog articles, blog posts. It can do translations. It can write programming code, and it can debug programming code. So I'm going to show you another slide here. So all of these slides are created by somebody else. So I have attributions in the bottom of these slides, but this is an example of how ChatGPT could help business owners. So if ChatGPT operating as a project manager, for example, we talk about the terminology called prompt. A prompt is what you put in, it's what you type into ChatGPT. So for example, as a project manager, you might say something like, I want to, for like whatever your main project is, right? Break down this project and make a to-do list with suggested timeframes. So those points that you can see on the screen where they have little little brackets or little brackets is where you would put in your project. If it was a CFO, for example, you would tell ChatGPT to act as a chief financial officer consultant. So it has the intelligence to know what that means. You would tell it what the role is. So the CFO is responsible for helping me to manage the company's financial resources. And then ask me the three most important questions to help you gather necessary information. So these are kinds of the types of questions that you can put in there. You can frame it for what kind of expertise you're looking for. And you can ask it to put it in the format that you want it to be in. There is information on, you cannot get away from the information online now where people are giving you these prompts. You can buy products, you can write your own. You don't have to buy prompts, but they're all over. You'll see offers come up all over for them. So the question in my mind is, why was ChatGPT released to the public? Because although we've got OpenAI's statement, their mission statement, which is very noble, my belief, everything comes down to money. And so I want to know why they really released it. And they released it because of, they want for testing, really is for testing. They want to understand its strengths and its weaknesses, and they want to understand the applications in the real world. So never forget that the fact that we have access to the software is for their testing purposes. And it also supports OpenAI's core mission, which is to democratize access. ChatGPT has been banned in certain countries like Russia, China, Iran, and North Korea, and it was banned for a short while in Italy as well. The Italy courts put out a to-do list to say we will allow access under the following circumstances, and OpenAI made those changes, and now it is available in Italy. The law is very slow, like we know, and so the law is scrambling, trying to understand how to handle ChatGPT. All right, I'm going to share another screen on the types of plans, because I don't know if you guys know this, but there are different plans that, sharing the wrong screen. There are different plans for ChatGPT. There is a free plan and there is a plus plan. Plus plan is $20 a month. I have that. I need that. The free plan, there can be problems accessing ChatGPT because they bring it down when the demand is too high. You get a standard response speed, and you can't get any links. So you can ask ChatGPT for references for what it's saying, but you can't actually get any links to those underlying resources. However, under the plus plan on ChatGPT 4, you can. So we'll talk about that. But ChatGPT, the plus plan actually gives you availability even when demand is high. So that's why I needed the plus plan. You get faster response to the actual messages coming through. So I'll demo that real quick. There are different versions as well. ChatGPT 3.5 and ChatGPT 4. 3.5, it's faster, but the information is not as good and as thorough as ChatGPT 4. ChatGPT 4 is only available on the plus plan though. So I think we may be coming close to being able to actually demo this. Let's see. Okay, so how to get started? That's the big question. I know that some of you are already using it, so that's awesome, but some of you are not. So I'm going to share my screen again. And go into, I'm going to log out. I should have logged out here already, so that you guys can see how to do this. So if you go to, let's just go to openai.com. So go to openai.com. And I have all of these links in a resource document that I can send to you all. So don't worry about copying down links, but you would go to openai.com. And this is the OpenAI website, and log in. Nope, that's not going to the right place. Yes, it is. Okay, this is all their products. They have ChatGPT, but they also have DALL-E, which is an image AI program. You might have heard that one too. So this is where you want to go in for ChatGPT 3. And we are not using my husband's login, we're using my login. So for people who don't have an account, you can just create it with your Google ID if you have one, or you can sign up with an email address. So they just want your email address. And come on, don't do that. Oh, because I did it. I signed up with my Google address. Of course, this would do it while we're recording this, wouldn't it? All right, so it has the capability of storing all of the queries that you've done, which is really handy because you can go back into these and look at them. Like, for example, oh, I don't know, web design verticals. I asked it something, don't worry about what I asked it, but I put in something there and it gave me the information. This was back in March. I still have access to that. I can continue with this query and put in a new message and start there. But we will start from the very beginning. To start a new chat, you go to new chat and it opens up this window. Because I have the Pro account, the Plus account, it gives me access to GPT-4 and it also gives me access to GPT 3.5. I am going to copy one of the prompts that I saved. But you can put in whatever you want here. Some of those questions that we had from earlier, we can put them in here. And I want to show you how, well, I'll get to that. Okay, so you would paste in whatever or type in with whatever you want to do that. So my query is, I have a healthcare marketing agency and I would like to find better clients that pay at least 10K a month. And it starts generating. It goes pretty fast because I'm in version 3.5. Gives you a lot of information. And say, for example, the first one is defining your target audience, which is marketing 101. I know this, I'm in the field, I know this. I will say at this point that ChatGPT has the tendency, doesn't always do it, but it sometimes does it, where it makes up answers. May not be the right answers. So you do want to check. You want to verify the information it gives you. I'm in marketing. I know that defining your target audience is marketing 101. It's the first step. However, let's say, for example, I'm reading through this and I just want more information. So I could say 4.1 give me 5 bullet points to help me define my clients. So what I've done there is, and you scroll down and it's giving me information. What I've done there is I've given it a way of organizing the information a little better and being much more specific. This is where they talk about generative queries. Now I want to take the same query that I put in right at the top, and I want to start a new one using ChatGPT 4 so you can see how it might look different. So I toggled across to ChatGPT 4. It's slower. However, it's given me formatting out of the gate already. I didn't have to say put it in numbered list order. It's giving me bold so I can read it more clearly. Let's say, for example, I don't like what it's saying. I can stop it. I can give it a thumbs up or thumbs down. So I begin to train this session. You can train sessions. So for example, I could say that you are a marketing agency with 10 years of experience, and it will remember that throughout this entire chat. You can also copy this, click on the little clipboard, it will copy it. So now that's on your clipboard. You can paste it anywhere, whether you paste it into, email or whatever, an Instagram post, wherever you want to put it. They are also coming out with plugins for ChatGPT, and I actually already have one in here. Most of you probably don't care about SEO or search engine optimization. I do, because it's part of my job. And so it's automatically added in a plugin for one of the programs I use called Keywords Everywhere. So I'm not suggesting you use Keywords Everywhere. I'm just saying that when you use the software, there may be plugins that become more relevant to your field and help you create prompts. What this is a prompt template. So they're already talking about job losses. There are already new jobs that have been created for this. Prompt engineer is one of the jobs, a new job that's been created for this. So we will lose jobs will change, but there's going to be new jobs as well. So for my particular thing here, let's say I was interested in social media, and let's say I want to create Instagram posts and I want a template. So let's say I just want some captions. You can put in the language, what kind of tone. This is really important. Whether you want it to be a dry academic tone or a humorous, or funny, like a humorous. Okay, let's put humorous. And I want it to be satirical, for example. And my topic is going to be Vedic meditation, just because that's one of the things I do. And now this is automatically, so this, to be clear, this is not part of ChatGPT. It's something that sits on top of ChatGPT, but it's automatically created this prompt. So it says, please ignore all previous instructions. Please respond only in the English language. You are an Instagrammer with a large fan following. You have a humorous tone of voice. You have a satirical writing style. Write an Instagram post description in a few sentences, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so let's copy that because their button is not working to execute that yet. And I'm still in ChatGPT 4. Let's create a new chat. Let's go to ChatGPT 4 and put it in there. And it is thinking now, and it is creating me some Instagram posts, which sounds pretty cool. Wax on, wax off, kids. It's got emojis because it knows that, Instagram is all about and it's automatically, without me asking, it's automatically put in hashtags, which are very important for Instagram. So there you have one post. You could say to it, give me 5 more Instagram posts, and there you have your Instagram. Now, I want to stop at this point and say how important it is, though, for your own voice to come in here. So one thing that you can do before you even start this is you can take, if you have blog posts or articles that you've written, you can take those articles and blog posts, post it in here and say, this is an example of my writing. Please assign the voice of Natalie to this piece of writing. And then as part of this other prompt that you put in first here, you can say, in the voice of Natalie, write Instagram posts, and it will bring in your tone. So where are we on time? I think I need to wrap this up. I haven't even gotten halfway through my talk, but that's okay. I wanted to demonstrate real quick another type of AI for Canva. Who here uses Canva? Put up your hand. Canva is an image tool. It's very, very powerful. They are also using AI. I did a quick example real quick. If anybody wants to learn how to use Canva, talk to me separately because I love Canva. But this was an image I was working on. With their help, I changed I don't know if you can notice, but the second slide here is her hairstyle. I changed her hairstyle and I changed the color of her hair just using the artificial intelligence. And the way that I did that, I see a couple open mouths in the audience. Yay. The way I did that was to click on the little image and go to edit photo and magic edit. And you will use the brush and highlight the hair. I'm trying to do it real quick because I'm running out of time. And then click continue. And then you want to say blonde hair. Or if I could spell, that would work even better. And click generate. And it's going to think for a while and come up with 4 options that you can choose. And it is as easy as that. It takes a little bit of time though, so you do have to give it some time. So my point of the reason I wanted to do this talk was to show that there is a lot you can do. It is not all scary, but it is very important. So you can see these are the options and it just changes it for you. Amazing stuff. So let me stop sharing and wrap up here. Okay. The reason why I'm doing these talks is to try to lower the fear associated with ChatGPT and AI, and also because we want the good people involved in this conversation. This tool is massively powerful and it is changing the world, and we need all of the good people. Let's just put it that way: the light workers, the spiritual workers, the people who are thinking about humanity, involved in this conversation. And that is why I am part of it, trying to keep on top of all the new things happening. My husband is building his own app called Lima Chat that is using ChatGPT as the back end. So we'll see when we get with that, but this is why we're involved in this. All right, so I think we are probably at the end, Jenny. I don't know if we have time for questions or not, but thank you for letting me speak, and hopefully it wasn't too boring. And I'm happy to take questions. And Jenny, you're on mute.
I'm muted. I want to thank, let's unmute those of you who are on camera with us, unmute, and let's let Natalie hear our thanks and our applause.
Thanks, Natalie, that was awesome.
Thank you. Yes, you mystified a lot of it for me. And I want to thank anyone who's watching this also. If anyone wants to join us for one of our in-person meetings in Columbia, Maryland, Richmond, Virginia, or Tallahassee, Florida, or one of our 9 online gatherings, just look in the text of this to see our website, and you can check it all out there. Thanks for watching, everyone.
Thank you.